The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
On that day, Jesus went out of the house and sat down by the sea. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat down, and the whole crowd stood along the shore. And he spoke to them at length in parables, saying, A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell on the path, and birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground, where it had little soil. It sprang up at once, because the soil was not deep. And when the sun rose, it was scorched, and it withered for lack of roots. Some seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some seed fell on rich soil, and produced fruit, 100 or 60 or 30-fold. Whoever has ears ought to hear. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today's first reading from Exodus provides the background for the Bread of Life Discourse in John's Gospel. And it's so important that we understand the Old Testament. And very often when there's confusion about an issue, it's the lack of understanding of the Old Testament. And God gave them the manna and the quail. They had bread and they had flesh to eat, meat to eat. And Jesus says, I am the bread. This is my body. This is my blood. And when Jesus spoke the Bread of Life Discourse, there was a nasty reaction. They said, this guy is crazy. How can he give us his flesh to eat? Well, we need to go back to the Old Testament, to the roots of today's reading. Jesus, or God providing manna, bread and quail for them to eat. And he continues to do so at every Mass. So we have to see that historical connection, what Jesus did long ago to what he does for us today. So it's very important. Just would like to give you a heads up. For the next 5 Sundays, we have the Bread of Life Discourse. And I would recommend to you all here and all watching that you read the Bread of Life Discourse between now and this Sunday if you get a chance. Because that way, when you read it all in one setting, you get a good view of the whole Bread of Life Discourse and how this reading today points to it. Interesting, the manna. Anyone know what the word manna means? It means, what is it? They didn't know what it was. So that's how it got its name. What is it? And it's interesting. The manna would fall 6 days a week. What day did it not fall? The Sabbath. The Sabbath was God's day. And if they brought too much home, so on one of the 6 days, what would happen to it?
It would go bad.
That's right, it would go bad. But when they brought it home on the Friday, what happened to it? It was perfectly fine. They could eat it on the Sabbath. So it really is, there's so much in the manna and so much to teach us. And the gospel today is a beautiful gospel. Jesus, he got into a boat. Why do you think he got into a boat? No, there's another reason he got into the boat. Why am I using the microphone? For the sound. Yeah, so that's why he got into the boat. It acted like a microphone, a PA system for the people. So Jesus was very smart. He got into the boat so that they could hear him. And he told a wonderful story about the farmer sowing seed. And there's so much in this, I could keep you here all day explaining it. But just want to give you an example. I was reading a story about a couple who had a baby. And the baby had no arms. And the father's reaction was, curse God and curse the doctors that let this child be born. The mother, on the other hand, said, look, we're so blessed to have this wonderful child with such special needs. And thank God we have the means to provide for this child. And we're going to need all the help we can get. this child is going to need all the help we can give him, and how blessed we are to have this opportunity. And a totally different reaction to the same child. And I think it's a bit like that with life. Attitude is everything. And that's how we produce good fruit. You know, you're all here in church this morning. That's preaching to the choir. Thank God you're here. But our mission is to go out and to find the ones that are not here and bring them in so they can produce rich fruit. What kind of soil are you? That's the question. What kind of fruit are you producing? And that's always the challenge, to produce good fruit, to be rich soil for the Lord, so that he can have an abundant harvest. Amen.
Amen.